What Keir has done, as far as I can see, has taken all the left out of the Labour Party, and he's come out with a brilliant set of values and principles and ways of growing Britain in complete alignment with my views as a commercial capitalist.
That's actually perhaps a more honest message than you'll hear in much of the Liberal press at the moment. Keir Starmer has done more than Tony Blair to expunge the left from the Labour Party, and that's meant that its objectives are completely in line with commercial capitalists. So not just sort of merely consistent, not something that commercial capitalists can tolerate and work with. No, it is exactly the same as the interests of commercial capitalists. And it's important sort of repeating, including once committed Tories, right? And Caudwell certainly counts as a once committed Tory. As well as backing the party for 50 years, he's been a major donor. In fact, Caudwell was the party's biggest donor, giving them £500,000 in 2019. And he wasn't shy then about his reasoning for his Tory support. So earlier in 2019, he'd pledged he would move to tax-free Monaco if Corbyn were to get into power and bring in higher taxes. Now, Monaco would be a fitting destination for Caudwell, who clearly has a taste for luxury. The billionaire owns an £85 million Mayfair townhouse, 2 super yachts, a private jet, and a £12 million manor house near where he grew up in Stoke-on-Trent. As well as backing Boris Johnson, Caudwell was a big fan of Liz Truss, who tried to help the super rich but ended up crashing the economy. And on Newsnight, co-panellist Isabel Oakeshott challenged Caudwell on his shifting political commitments.
I think it's fine to change your mind. You know, the facts change, personnel change at the top and so on. So I think that's fine. But it does strike me as if you are a little bit all over the place on who you've supported. I mean, did I hear correctly?
Nobody less all over the place than me that you'll
did you support Liz Truss's?
Ever know in your life.
Did you support Liz Truss's agenda?
I'm direct. I did, and there was a reason for that because
really
I was so
radically different to the economic agenda of the Labour Party.
No, it wasn't.
It really is.
No, look. Liz Truss was going for growth, GDP growth.
Yeah.
She got it all wrong.
Yeah.
I did not support Rishi. The only alternative was Liz Truss or Rishi. I chose what I view to be the lesser of the two evils, and she screwed it up and she made a mess of it.
Right.
That's it. That's fact. You know, how many times do we get a political decision wrong? Now, what you're saying is I've probably got it wrong with Labour. Well, if I have, God help.
God help. Being a bit naive.
No, I'm not
and
naive at all.
Obviously, I don't want to lecture you on that because you're a very successful guy.
If I'm naive, how did I build a business in a tough environment for 20 years that made a 1.5 billion sellout? Was I the luckiest guy on earth, or did I fight like fury?
How much of that was under a Labour government?
Or did I fight like fury, and did I make shrewd, commercial, wise decisions?
I'm 100%.
I love that sort of rhetorical device. There's nobody less all over the place in the whole world than me. It's very Trumpian. He always says there's no one more honest in the whole world than me. I mean, you're clearly a bit all over the place, right? You went from backing Boris Johnson to Liz Truss to Keir Starmer. That doesn't completely delegitimize your point of view, but to say you're the least all over the place person in the whole entire world does make you sound a bit childish, I suppose. I mean, we should be clear. Clearly, this guy is smart. He didn't inherit all his money. He came from a working class background, built Phones for You out of nothing. He's clearly got a lot of business acumen, right? The guy's not an idiot, even if he does speak in a sort of a bit like a boastful child. Might he be a little bit cynical, though, right? So she's saying he's naive, but perhaps people who are impressed by his support for Labour because it means, you know, they're a strong party of government are being a little bit naive. Because could it be that this billionaire with his £95 million or £85 million mansion in Mayfair, who keeps considering going to Monaco, isn't really aligning with the Labour Party because he thinks they'll be best for the country, but is standing behind the Labour Party because he's pretty sure they're definitely going to win the next general election and wants to have an in with them?